Now let's cut right to the chase. On March 30th, an email was sent out to WWE Board members alleging that you had an affair with one of your former paralegals and that you paid millions of dollars in settlement money to keep everything on the hush. Did you or did you not screw this woman? Some would say I screwed this woman. She will definitely not tell you that. She can't say anything. I look at it from a different standpoint. I look at it from a standpoint that no hush money or raises were given in reward for any sexual favors or an affair. John Laurinaitis certainly did not screw this woman, and Vince McMahon did not screw this woman. I truly believe that the board screwed Vince McMahon, and they can look in the mirror and know that. I'm sure that in some parts of the country, there's a collective groan that you're not accepting responsibility and that somehow you orchestrated the situation and that people aren't going to understand what you mean.
What do I mean by that? Responsibility? Get out, you son of a bitch! You're killing me with this shit, man! You're killing me! You wanna take me away from my own company? You wanna oust me as CEO? Well, I'll tell you what there, pal. It's not gonna work. I am this company. I spent the last 40 years of my career, 40 years of blood, sweat, tears, and building this industry down by the seat of my own grapefruits. You can't take me away from the WWE. I am the WWE. Oh my God!
2022 is going to go down as one of the most historic years in the history of the wrestling business. For better or for worse. Sasha and Naomi, which you know we've already got into. MJF shooting people into a work. Roman becoming the new Brock Lesnar, and all these injuries at the very worst time imaginable. You literally have Cody Rhodes, and let's not even call him the American Nightmare anymore. He is literally prime Super Saiyan 2 Teen Gohan, all with his arm just like the arm messed up, getting the best comeback of anime in an entire decade. He literally father-son Kamehameha his way into one of the best wrestling matches that will go down in ages. And there's plenty of other things that we're just not even gonna have time to mention or talk about today, and some stuff that we're just not gonna get into just because it's a little sensitive. But this one,
ain't no fucking way, boy.
Ain't no way, we're not going. Ain't no way, boy. We gonna talk about this one. Did you ever think you would live to see the day that Vince voluntarily stepped down from being the CEO and Chairman of the board? I would think that hell freezing over would have been more likely, but this time the devil himself got caught red-handed, and it was all in the details. Corporate controversies and scandals are nothing new, and no doubt that these non-disclosure agreements and sneaky links, happen so much in big companies. I think the big difference is Vince has just got caught, and not only did he get caught in a scandalous affair, but he's alleged to have given $100,000 raise and promoted this lady afterwards. And you passing her around like a toy, running Thomas the Train, little engine that could, and now she's like scared or something, and you just put all this money to shut her up, and for all that talk about unprofessionalism with Sasha Banks and Naomi, all that, the inside leaks and reports of Stephanie being inept at her job, and look at Vince. He's the one that's looking like Bozo, the clown, Boo Boo the fool, and he's the one that's actually tanking the company's reputation. But I don't know how the hell you're gonna get yourself out of this one, Vince. I mean, you ain't no spring chicken anymore. You're 70 freaking 6. And sure, In 1994, you beat the U.S. government in the steroid trial. You monopolized an entire industry and built sports entertainment into what it is today. And you kept the Jimmy Snuka and Ring Boy scandals covered up. And the peak of the company on its rise and Hulkamania and all that stuff. But it's not the 80s nor the 90s or even the early 2000s anymore. This is 2022. You have a publicly traded company right now, and we're in the age of social media, cancel culture, Me Too. So, but he ain't getting no tears from me, bro. Him and People Power, Johnny Ace, the new women's tag team champions, they ain't getting no sympathy from me. And I just literally don't see how a man that puts the company and business over everything, his own family, would bungle this up this badly. And now the company is in a very chaotic thing going on right now. I mean, he had the audacity to come out of SmackDown pretending like everything was okay, but it ain't okay. And I just really don't know how he's going to get himself out of this or where the company is going to continue to go. Because, yes, WWE started before Vince Jr. with Vince Sr., but WWE, sports entertainment, so much of it is Vince McMahon. And what is going to happen to where Vince might potentially be forced out? Now he's doing his little behind the scenes. They got a little PR move going on with Stephanie being the interim. But what if he actually is forced to step away? Like, permanent. And as a lifelong WWE fan, of course, I'm thinking about what is going to happen to the WWE. There's been so much speculation over the past few years about a sale, about Nick Khan's ascension, all those different things, Stephanie and Triple H gradually losing power. And a controversy like this, is Vince really going to still be able to play behind the scenes creative and then literally use a prop or a figurehead to, actually live out his will for what he wants for the company through Stephanie? Is that actually going to happen, or does this fuel the sale? What is going to be the long-term creative implications of this? Is it going to be bad? Is it going to be worse? Ideally, you would have thought that we would have had this conversation after Vince peacefully decided to pass off the vision to his kids, to Triple H, to Stephanie, to Shane, whoever. But it just seems like this is just the beginning of a very long story. And if this isn't the end, it certainly feels like the beginning of the end for Vince's, long run with this company. But we don't know that. If Vince somehow magically and amazingly gets over this and pulls off one of those Trump-style comebacks, then, hey, I will be shocked, but I won't be surprised. But in any case, if anything changes, we'll have to discuss it here. But it's just interesting to think about, what will the WWE be without Vince? And I'm not one of those people, even though I've had my creative issues with WWE in the past. It's like, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh man, I want Vince to die. I think people like that are sick. But this literally makes you think about, what's going to happen when Vince is no longer working for WWE or in control of WWE. And I just think this is a really crazy situation. And it only could be Vince McMahon that could potentially go out like this. Not so much in a blaze of glory, but just the drama, the salaciousness, Only Vince, man. Truth be told, none of us really know what's going to happen, but we know that there's definitely more to come. And as those things, come to pass, we'll be back to discuss it. But in the meantime, let me know what you think about this entire situation. Are we really looking at the end of the McMahon era dynasty? Is it that something to really be worried about. Is, all this stuff just going to end up being a dog and pony show, a bunch of fluff, and then we end up back to where we were before? Who knows? But, sound off in the comments. Definitely do all the YouTube stuff. Like, subscribe, please, if you enjoy it. This has been EK Wrestling. My name is Brandon, and we'll see you next time.